track of time. Let's stay a while up close and personal.
Welcome back to the LDH podcast. We're so excited to talk to you once more and, of course, be in conversation with someone super special today. I'm your host, Kim Jansen.
Welcome, ladies. I'm Leanne Lamini, the founder of LDH and End Girl Hate, and welcome to the LDH podcast.
And as she's fondly known as, the mother of sisterhood. But we are having a conversation about all things style today with the mother of style.
Oh my gosh, my mother of style.
Exactly.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Now, Thuli Mola started StyleAlert actually after being retrenched, and she started selling vintage clothing at pop-ups and stalls. Thuli, it's a long way since where you started to where you are now, and StyleAlert has become one of the most sought after ready-to-wear brands. I mean, I know you see some things on 5 minutes later, it's sold out.
Yeah.
That's a great space to be.
It is.
But when it comes, first of all, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We love you so much.
You, sis.
But Thuli, what does style mean to you personally?
Yo, a lot of things. I think the obvious one, that's how I express myself through style. And I feel like this is how I communicate with people or to the world out there. And it's my only universal language that I understand and then they understand. I feel like style is easy for me to tap into. I'm not too much of a talk. I don't speak much, but when I dress up, I feel good and I feel loud and I feel confident.
Yeah.
It's my superpower.
Oh, I
Definitely my
love that.
superpower.
I feel like your style speaks for you. Before,
It does.
Like as you walk into a room.
It does.
Like you can't help but turn around and notice you. And speaking of which, Leanne, we can't help but notice you in that number that you're wearing. I mean, who's it by?
Of course, my one and only Thuli, StyleAlert. I have been shopping from Thuli for years.
Yeah.
And you know, the interesting thing about having conversations like this, you learn things about people that you never knew. I mean, like I said, I've been shopping from her for years and I didn't know that she started StyleAlert after being retrenched. So thank you so much for having this conversation with us, sis. I'm so grateful and we're going to soak it all in because I love
as much as we can.
As much as we can.
As much as we can. It's broad. There's a lot to say.
Right.
There's a lot to talk about. But whatever we can squeeze
You
in.
said something off camera and I laughed because you didn't want us to ask you this question.
Yes.
But what inspires you? And I want you to say exactly what you said, but really what inspires you? Because inspiration can come from anywhere and anyone.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thuli said these are cheesy. That was
Yes,
a cheesy
super
question.
cheesy.
But what people want to
Exactly.
know. I want to know all the cheesy questions. I want to know where it started. What inspired you? How did you come about this process? So please.
Being broke is
Being
one
broke.
of them.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Being broke is
That's
one
a
of them.
really good motivation
Yes.
for anyone.
It's a good motivation for anybody. I mean,
Absolutely.
like you said, I started off retrenched.
Yeah.
I needed a plan. And then my plan was to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
I needed to do something that I truly love. And everybody will tell you, like, do something that you love.
Right.
Something that, you know, that you enjoy so that it doesn't feel like work. It's work. Whether you enjoy it or not, it's work.
It doesn't matter how passionate
That
you
is so
are.
true. That
Love,
is so
it's
true.
work.
And I
You
have
love
to remind
singing,
myself,
it's you, it's passionate,
work.
but it's
work. I have to remind myself,
Yeah.
like, and even the girls when we're in a meeting or something, I'm like, guys, remember this is
It's
our
work.
passion. It's our hard
fine.
work. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, but it's still work
This is
because
work.
things need to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it changes all the time. I mean, I'm in a good space now. I sell out, which is good.
Yes.
What am I going to do?
It changes and it evolves. And I mean, sometimes I've even mentioned like a cupcake and I see a nice, beautiful red color and I'm like, I don't do much red. Maybe I should do a beautiful red dress. And you asked me about the scent dress and I can't really figure it out right now, but every other time it changes. I could be on social media and I could see a really amazing entrepreneur
Yeah.
who is in a place or has done or carried her brand where I want to carry. And there's always a gap, there's always an improvement. And for me, it's like, what else can I do? What else can I change? How more can I, you know, I've been doing this for a very long time.
have.
And sometimes it feels like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will take a break and I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to take a break a bit, but something will inspire me. I mean, it will be color, it will be friends, it will be it will be a vacation, it will be a break,
Yeah.
you know, it will be anything can inspire you.
And Thuli, you do take a lot of breaks actually, where Thuli
love
will
that.
actually, she'll just disappear from social media for like 3 months.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
come back with this
Yeah.
killer collection that everyone needs to have.
Yes.
My question to you is, what are you doing in those
In
breaks?
those times.
As a creative and as a designer, what happens in that process?
I am really fueling myself because I am probably drained and I'm probably feeling like I have nothing left, you know. And I have to refuel myself. I'm just that person that needs to take that moment. And being a creative is something else.
You're tapping into yourself.
Yeah.
You drain so much. You're
Right.
mental, emotional. There's so much that you just have to keep, and you're just draining, and you don't know when to stop, and you're giving, and you're pulling, and you're pouring, but you're
Right.
leaking, and there's so
Right.
much that happens. So during that break,
leaking also.
you're leaking, but you're pouring.
Wow.
So you're filling a cup that's leaking.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
So in that time, it's really a break that I take just to refuel, just to feel and remember why I do what I do. Because, like I said, I really run out of that energy, and I just need to just come back and refuel and just, you know, wusa. We need to
Right.
wusa. We live in a time where we all need to just
Right.
wusa. So
Right.
it's when I really need that time.
What do you
myself.
do to Wusa? When you say you Wusa, what are you doing?
I almost said something. I almost said, except a glass of wine. I meditate. I meditate and I love music. So my sister will find me in a room listening to jazz instruments, and she's like, "Are you dating some old? Like, who are you dating? What's happening?" So I will listen to music. I pray a lot, and when I pray, I cry. So that means I'm crying a lot.
Because you're regulating.
Right.
So good. So that ugly
Yes.
cry. I do a lot of ugly cries.
Right.
Music a
good
lot.
ugly
cry.
And I spend time with my kids, which I enjoy a lot. So they make me feel like a kid myself again. So it's one of the few things I enjoy. And I mean, I spend time with family, which I like. So yeah, that's one of the few, yeah.
I'm going to ask a question that's a bit off script here.
Yeah.
But as a creative and in those seasons of breaks, how are you still making ends meet? Because we spoke about being broke. So how in those breaks do you not go broke? Because I see, and especially with a lot of what we do, you need to be out there on social media and constantly pushing. Otherwise, you don't make money.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make sure that you are still feeding yourself and the boys and putting food on the table?
Weirdly, you're right. It's probably just gonna go off the fashion and style conversation.
okay.
But I was raised by my mom is a single mother, and I don't know, saving was just a big thing for her.
it.
It's like
Got
you
it.
wondered, like,
Got it.
how did she afford that? She said she had no
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The saving part is
it.
just something. I mean, when I was buying fabric, just on Monday, this guy said, "Are you closing?" And I said, "No, I'm not closing this season, this specific season." And I said, "I can't afford to close, but now there'll be days." So I'm not deciding, "Oh, I'm out of fuel. No, I'm going to close." I really, I need to plan and I need
There's
to
a
plan
practical
forward.
aspect,
It's a
yeah.
very practical aspects. And when it comes to being an entrepreneur, the best thing that I've taught myself is to just purchase and not owe anybody.
Love that.
So it's just helped me
Oh,
a
no,
lot.
man, anything. I love that.
A lot.
And getting back into our fashion conversation.
Yes, please bring it
No,
back.
but that is so important.
Where we were.
How do I, as an
Yeah.
individual, because I think for me, fashion never became more important once I started to get to know who I was and started accepting who I was. But how do I discover my unique sense of style?
So that style identity question,
Yes.
it's a very tricky one, and
Yeah.
but you won't believe me when I say this, but everyone has style. We all have style.
Really?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And what I mean by that is your personal style or your personal identity. Like you said, you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know your dislikes.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the older I get
Right,
on set
right,
today. The
right.
older you get, the more you know who you are
Right.
about, what you're about, what you
Yeah.
like, your dislikes. You're not going to tap into a space that's uncomfortable. So that really resonates with your style identity. You will never wear an item that does not feel comfortable, does not make you feel good. So honestly, fashion and clothing is an emotional connection.
Oh, wow.
And what I mean is like, oh no, that reminds me of my grandmother. No, that's not what I mean. When I say an emotional connection, it's when you go into the mirror and you look at this dress, or on the rail, and you look at this dress, or you look at this item, or you look at this shirt, and you're like, you have that feeling about it. You're like,
Yes.
what is it? What is it about this? However, it's important to be open-minded and try it out, because
Right.
maybe that item does not have the same
Right.
emotional connection with you, and it doesn't
Exactly.
work. So
Yeah.
it's important to be open-minded when you're trying to identify your style. And when you're younger, you will try things. You will fumble and figure. There's things where you're like, I wore that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I wore
Look at
that.
a lot of photos.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
But now we don't make those choices. We are in tune with
Yes.
who we are, and comfort is first before anything.
I love that. Comfort is first. And on that, I want to ask the question, because I think it's a little bit controversial. Some people believe in dressing for your body type. Others are like, I don't care. But do you have any tips for us, like practical tips on, because sometimes you want, like I see something in my mind and I see the dress and then I put it on, the picture is not connecting with what I'm seeing in the mirror. But where do I start in terms of dressing to a point where I feel comfortable, confident, and just feel good? Where do I start?
There was like 4 questions there, but I will start with the confident part.
Yes.
Right. And when I was growing up and reading about style and fashion, it was always the fact that you have to be confident, and you have to wear the right clothes to feel confident. You wear this beautiful dress, it will make you feel confident. You wear this beautiful shirt, it will make you confident.
Yes.
But what I've realized, and with just this minimal, basic staple pieces, it's really not the clothes, it's the confidence. So I know it's a bit of a, but it's the confidence, right,
Yes,
before the clothes.
Yeah.
Because anybody could say, I like your dress, it's just, I don't think, the cut is just, then what happens? Because the dress was supposed to be your confidence, right? But if your confidence is you, then it's a white t-shirt and a jean, and I'm happy.
Exactly.
And the body issue also is a tricky one, because as much as you say it would look good, and I've imagined it, and I think it would look perfect, and once you put it on, it happens to every body type, Kim. Not medium, not small, not everybody.
Sure.
You had this vision and you had this idea, and that's the big thing that's happening on Instagram now, styling versus dressing,
Okay.
which is helping a lot of people. Well, you can't just put it on, you gotta style it a bit. And that's where some of us come in.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
What is styling versus dressing?
I don't know it either.
We put on this dress today, you put on your dress today. You knew what shoe to wear.
Yeah.
You knew how to pull up your hair. There's certain things that work better in a bun, or certain look, or certain shirt.
Got it, yeah.
Do you understand? I mean, if you just had messy hair, you'd be like, something is missing. But if you pull up your hair and put on some earrings, or tie the belt up, or just an effort.
Okay, got
Put in
it.
some
Got
effort,
it.
please.
Got it.
That's the difference.
Okay, got it, yeah.
Please put in effort.
It's a bit of effort. It goes along with it.
Got it. I got it. Thuli, but I wanted to ask, so sometimes you have the confidence, and I just don't look like those incredible style girls, and how they can put together. I think, let me bring it back to your staple pieces.
Yes.
I feel like I don't look as good in my staple pieces as Mariana Hewitt would, or Thuli Mola, just wearing a pair of black slacks, white tee with a blazer, and then she puts on a baseball cap, and she just looks so good, and I put it
She
together.
puts her hand in her
Yes,
pocket, and you're like,
exactly,
oh,
and
what
she's
happened?
wearing loafers,
really?
and she's just walking with a coffee cup, and when I do it, I just look frumpy. But I feel like I have the confidence. Is it, where do you think that comes from?
It's the cut.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's really the cut.
Okay.
And I always advise, if you're trying to really just change your wardrobe, or you're trying to figure your style out, just please don't go to the shops and buy stuff.
Okay.
Figure out what you have there.
Yeah.
Look for inspirations, whether it's your Pinterest, whether it's a person you follow on social media. I mean, not everybody's on social media. There's probably a lady at work that dresses so good.
Right.
But you have to figure out the cuts that work for your body. I'm short. You're slightly taller than me. There's certain cuts that just, you can't just say t-shirt and then you just go, there's a specific t-shirt that's that works for those looks.
Got it.
Honestly, it's the
Yes,
cut. It's
got
the
it.
cut of
I
the
feel like
item.
we're talking about diamonds. You get the
Yes,
color,
yes,
clarity.
yes.
So we've got cut, we've got confidence. I need another C
Yes.
Yeah.
in there somehow, and then we
figure it
can
out.
say the style
Yeah.
C.
Yes.
But just as we wrap up, Thuli, can you
Yeah.
believe our conversation's already coming to an end? It's so short. But Thuli,
Yeah.
when it comes to timeless pieces,
Yeah.
what would your advice be? Because there's also the other side of fashion, right? And I think this is what I love about your clothing because of the quality. It's that slow fashion. The
Yes.
fact that I can have this piece for the next 10 years.
I have pieces in my wardrobe from maybe 10 years ago.
scare me.
And Thuli will sometimes say, you still have that, you've
Yes.
kept it, you keep your clothes so well. I mean, the piece behind you, okay, that's from last year, but I have pieces that go back 5, 6,
Yeah.
7 years and I can still wear them just
Yeah.
because they are so timeless and the quality is just incredible.
Exactly, and it makes us feel good because I'm not just shopping to throw this out.
Yes.
The next season, when I buy, I have one StyleAlert piece that I absolutely love. It's this bright fuchsia pink, and I wear it every summer season. I've had it for 6 years, now,
Right,
5, 6
right.
years, and every time I wear it, I get complimented on it.
Happiness.
But what is your advice for those of us who want to take that move to invest in certain pieces
Investing.
that are going to be timeless?
Investing. I mean, if I had to say this to anybody and say, oh, clothes are an investment, people who really don't understand would be like, no way. But when you buy your items, timeless style. And I think that's the approach that I have.
Yes.
I want to be, because I've always started with vintage clothes. So a vintage cut
that's true.
has always inspired. And when I saw this on you, I was like, I know exactly what to do with that because it's timeless and and I feel like if you can't afford to buy timeless pieces, which StyleAlert is one of the brands that have timeless pieces, a vintage store is the way to go.
Really?
I still do it till today. A vintage blouse, because it's quality.
Yes.
It's a one piece that you have, and it's a you collected this piece. It's sentimental.
Yeah.
At some point, the clothing in your wardrobe have to be sentimental more than just wearing them. They have to mean something to you. They have to tell a story. There's dresses where I would say to Leah, and I'm sorry, this is not just about us, it's about everyone. There's dresses that I would say to her, keep them for your daughter. Or you want those pieces so that this is my mom's dress. The quality is so good that I've kept it for all these years. So it's all about quality. More than anything, it's all about comfort. Those two are timeless and you can never go wrong.
I just found my 3 C's.
Yeah?
It was cut, confidence, and
quality.
You said it now.
Was it quality?
No.
Q for quality.
No, you
for
said it now. It was cut, confidence, and there was another one you just said you have to play this back.
Wait.
And comfort.
Comfort.
I knew I heard 3 C's.
Q for quality.
I promised this writer knows how to
Sound.
do
It's a C sound.
You're an
it's the
author, so I cannot.
It's
do
the
that.
onomatopoeia there. Like I could hear it, or the
Yes.
inspiration.
Okay, like, wait,
But it
this
was
is
definitely
it.
comfort. So
Yes.
it's
Okay,
got it.
confidence
And comfort.
comfort.
There we go.
I love that.
love
and
it.
you've told us about how style is an emotional connection.
It's an emotional
And I
connection.
think when you understand that emotional connection is a positive one. So Thuli, thank you for being in conversation with us. We love StyleAlert and we love you.
Thank you. I love you guys too. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you to LHD. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Losing track of time.